should a supplier be giving distributors credits, and when should you even introduce credits? Is it on the first supply, or you say, okay, let me study this person and know how the transaction is? When should we, or should we not even, should a supplier not even do credits? What will your advice?
This question is not a one cap fits all, especially in the kind of place we operate currently, the environment we operate in Nigeria. Cash is actually king. Cash is what drives everything. However, there are some times that you need to bend your rules actually to get some things done. And that's in the sense of trying to offer some credit facilities. However, it's not something you just do. Like I said, we only offer credit to people that are tested over time and trusted. Cannot do a business with you today because I'm desperate and now begin to expose myself in terms of risks. So the same way you're trying to go into business, you need to calculate potential risks so that you don't have a heart attack. These are the things that the mistake people make, and you see people having stroke. So you need to be very careful. You understand? Yes, credit helps, but you give it into the right person. And I don't think it's something you should just start diving into immediately. And even if you should do that, you should also look at the limits. Very key. The limit you also offer, okay, even if anything goes wrong with this amount, I'll still be alive. You do those calculations in your head before you can start doing things like that, but generally credit is what even drives the business most times. You cannot actually rule it out, but you need to be very strategic about it, and you need to be careful about it as well.
In terms of quantity, is there any ideal quantity you should supply for that first order to a distributor? Is there any ideal quantity? Because you don't want your product to also sit down and it's tying down your money. Is there any ideal quantity you should supply for that first order?
You see, the mistake people make is thinking because you want your product to sell or move out, you now start pumping people stock on credit basis. You're not doing yourself good. You're doing yourself more harm. So yes, you should have a rule. You should have a rule of quantity. Just like the way you are trying to limit your credit exposure, you also limit the quantity of whatever you are going to be topping out there. And for me, like I said, FMCG space, businesses that do with very low shelf life of 1 year products, 2 year products. You need to really invest more in retail points. Not really, when you talk about credit, the people that really play more on credit or demand more credit is usually the wholesalers. For us, our distributors, most of them even pay on cash. It's the wholesale leg of the business that usually run on credits. And because of the way wholesale's way of working and it's the way they are structured. So what we normally do to prevent some of these things is we also try to do direct to retail kind of mode of business, whereby yes, you have more opportunity of selling in cash than focusing more on just the wholesale bit of the business. Because retail, customers walk into an open market. The customer walk into an open market and buy things on credit, they pay cash. So you focus more on the retail segment. And you see, for the retail, even if you do any form of credit, the amount there will be limited compared to when you are dealing with wholesale. So what we normally try to advise is that as we're focusing on wholesale leg of the business, we also try to entrench the retail leg of the business, especially in the neighborhood, because most times research has shown is that you have opportunity of selling more cash business in the neighborhood, and it is in the neighborhood channels that you can even do more of cash business, and you can even get some level of throughput from there. So basically, you should be careful actually when you are giving these things out. Don't be carried away with the fact that you're trying to accelerate your numbers and now start dumping stock. At the end of the day, if there's poor uptake, those stock will even get expired at their end, and that's even another problem. Is another big problem when goods get expired at the point of wholesale distribution because uptake was low. That's why we have demand planning, and that is one of the things that demand planners do to ensure that we don't be in the trap of producing too low or producing too more what the market actually needs per time.
Now, just for clarification, when you talk about selling to retail, do you mean all these street vendors, or what do you mean when you talk about selling to retail?
Retailers are usually in two channels. Basically, you see them either in the open market or in the neighborhood. So you see all these lock-up shops, all these tabletops that are usually in the neighborhood that sell to final consumers, is what I mean. You also have them in the normal open market system. They sell to the people that come and buy in bit, final consumers or shoppers, people that use the product. So those are the retailers I'm talking about. So most times we are trying to move away a bit from wholesalers so that we can sell at the right price. Because what I was trying to remember was that it's only in the neighborhood stores for us and FMCG. It's only in outlets in the neighborhood that we can even sell at a a right price, recommended price. There's price war in the open markets because of market forces, and you can't control some of those. But when you are taking it to the retailers in the neighborhood, you have opportunity of selling more at a better profit margin, because you tell the mama or the person that the transport cost you won't use in coming to the market to buy and go back. You understand? We're already solving that from you. So it's just like modern trade. Who goes to a ShopRite and start pricing bread or pricing tomato? That same guy that went to ShopRite to price, if he goes to open market, you see him pricing the same thing he bought in ShopRite, you'll be pricing it in the open market. And that's why it's very difficult to sell at the right price in the open market because of these factors and forces. But it goes to modern trade and it doesn't even argue, he buys it. So you have more price sanity in the retail space in the neighborhood. That's why you said winning from the retail, especially retail neighborhood, is the focus for people that want to play well in FMCG space because of these natural forces.